The subscription business model, a necessary evil of the world.
You didn't even know you had. A new report finds the average American is spending more than $1,000 a year on subscriptions. Everything from those streaming channels to shopping sites or gym memberships.
I remember the good old days whenever you bought something and it was essentially yours forever. At least for the most part, unless you owe taxes. I don't know. And it's all made me think, just more so really in the digital space, what stuff do I really own? But at least here in 2024, I find myself buying things, but then still paying for them over time.
Jason Liu's 2020 Volvo has state-of-the-art remote features.
Can you start the car?
I can't start the car.
Apparently you can.
But if he wants to keep using them after a free trial, it'll cost $200 a year.
You bought this car, but you're going to keep paying for it.
But you're... But...
Now, at this current point in time, we are already very deep into what I'm going to call the subscription-based era, just because damn near every company has a product or a service that is designed, of course, to provide you with some value. But these are companies at the end of the day, so their main agenda behind it is making money. What else?
Often forgetfulness is part of the business model. A lot of organizations do that. They even go so far as to hide the cancel button to make it hard.
So it's no surprise that this model has been around longer than I've been alive, but with the soar of the digital age and the way that we now access our content and media, companies now have a new option and have stepped in offering software as a service, otherwise known as SaaS, which makes it easier for them since a lot of these services are essentially just licensed to you over the duration of your subscription rather than being that one-time transaction or purchase of a product instead. Not to be confused with a buy and unlock type of deal. Don't get me wrong, those suck, especially if you had to buy a product or service beforehand and then still pay to unlock features afterwards. That's it's right up there. That's damn near as bad as paying for a shitty subscription. Damn near. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Now, jumping back to the necessary evil of the world part. What did I mean by that? So there is a fine line between offering a good product or service that you pay monthly, yearly, weekly, daily amount for, and you get value back from it. Some everyday essentials like your gym membership, transit pass, or Costco's subscription are all great examples of this. Like a service that provides a lot of value to me, for example, is the Game Pass subscription. I now have access to an incredibly large library of games that I can play and hop between whenever and don't necessarily have to outright buy the games individually. Or another popular subscription that millions of people have, Amazon Prime, that has a multitude of different benefits that come with just being a member. Shoot, even something like HelloFresh, a meal kit delivery service, a lot of people find value in. That ongoing subscription that you're paying for not only allows companies to build brand loyalty and trust, but it also allows them that reoccurring source of revenue that keeps them afloat, essentially. That is why companies find so much value in this business model, because it offers longevity, stability, and that is extremely important, especially in today's unpredictable world. But on the other side of the line, they're essentially cash grabs. Now, I am very well aware that there are free services out there that will help you find and cancel your subscriptions, like Rocket Money is the first one that comes to mind for me. And those are some great options to help you find some of those inconspicuous payments and all. But now the thing that gets to me is essentially whenever companies make a barrier with a subscription that withholds services or a certain set of features from a product or service that you've already bought. That or also just requiring a subscription on something that isn't justifiable for most people. I also think it's kind of ironic that a free subscription cancellation service will also try and sell you a subscription for features that you really probably don't need. I actually did some scrolling around on Reddit just to see what were some of the most stupidest subscription services people had ever seen, and here are a few. So like I said, cash grabs. These are all completely down bad reasons to have a subscription. No one should be paying for this type of stuff. Subscription-based models can also just be a pain in the ass because now on top of all the everyday expenses of life that are probably already, following that same model, you have that on top of it that just really strains consumers' budgets. I know everyone has had that check hit before and then miraculously like 24 hours later, like a portion of it may be gone from a specific service that we haven't used in like 3 months that you're still paying for. It happens to everyone. And another thing on top of all the financial burdens is just the fragmentation of different content, if that makes sense. And I guess this is mainly directed towards like Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, all those streaming sites, to where you got to have an account to access all these multitude of different libraries of shows and things like that, but then also have to pay a separate subscription for each one. And the prices keep going up. Now, the good and the bad thing, at least just pertaining to just streaming services right now, is that they are trying to effectively combine, kind of a package deal whenever signing up with these services. But sometimes, at least whenever jumping to other specific product categories or services, it may be a lot of things that people don't want. Now, you got to remember that this is all subjective and everyone's wants and desires are going to be different. But for the most part, even if you don't find value in a specific product or service for yourself personally, I feel like you should be able to at least look at the product and think, other people could use this. It may not be for you, but there's a broader justifiable use case for other people out there. You know what I mean? But if you can't, then it's probably one of those things that companies usually just slap in bundles just to make you feel like you got a better deal. While subscriptions aren't going anywhere no time soon, the actual global economy market size is projected to be upwards of $1.5 trillion. The only way to effectively combat this model is, of course, to stick with those one-time purchases of a product or a service. But some of those subscriptions will just be inevitable. Just try where you can. In a world that is only getting more expensive and feeling like subscriptions are now being tied to lots of different aspects of life, some justifiable, others damn sure not, I just hope that we find that balancing act for my wallet's sake. But let me know down in the comments below, what subscriptions are you still paying for that you really don't need? You should probably go check them. But either way, I appreciate you guys staying till the end, and be sure and stay tuned because the next video is right around the corner. Peace.